Whether you're new to the Remnant games or a veteran that saw every inch of From the Ashes, we've got a list of tips you might find very useful before diving into the sequel. Here are 15 things we wish we knew before playing Remnant 2. Depending on the commitment level of you and your friend group for co-op play, you may want to base your class decision on one that will work well during those lonely play sessions. That's where the handler comes in. The game describes this archetype as a good fit for a solo campaign run, but seeing was truly believing for me. This class comes with a canine companion, simply named Dog, that can revive you up to 50% of your health if you take a fatal tumble in combat. However, this can only happen provided you have at least one relic left in your inventory. This also works for other party members as well, making the handler a great choice for group play. Your companion also has a handy skill called Support Dog that causes its howl to progressively heal you over time while also increasing your movement speed. Alongside these awesome features, you can pet the dog. You can't give it a proper name in game, but you can show it love for helping you take down a boss. Mentally, I've named mine Theo. You know what's better than the powers of one archetype? Two of them. As you play, you can discover each of the other archetypes, though doing so is easier said than done. Our reviewer, Richard Wakeling, only managed to find 2 during his playthrough. I've found none so far. Once found, classes could be swapped with one another at any time. Once you've reached the max level of 10 on a particular archetype, you can then equip dual archetypes, thus unlocking double the perks and double the skills. Whether you're merging a DPS class with a support type or combining the long-range perks of the hunter with the short-range aptitude of the challenger, there are some fun concoctions to be made. Following a chat with my co-op partner, I realized the location you spawn in after you've cleared the tutorial isn't universally the same. While I started off in the realm of Loathsome, standing in the courtyard of a glamorous palace, my partner started off on a foggy gray prison planet. However, this random order doesn't seem to have an impact on the story or the co-op experience. Each time I experimented with a new character, they'd say the exact same line of dialogue they said at the start of a different realm.
You will have to dispose of Talratha. There is no other way.
I was also able to join my co-op buddy with no issues despite being on different difficulties and realms. But if you find yourself wishing you could start off in the same spot as a friend, even though it probably doesn't matter much because of all the procedural generation, you can switch things up without sitting through the character creator or the already skippable tutorial. At the War 13 checkpoint, pick World Settings, and then re-roll on the bottom left. You can also start a new adventure mode from here too. This can also be useful if you want to start a new character, but you want to start in a different spot than your previous one. I would probably pick Yeisha each time just for its beautiful variety of plant life. No matter where you begin your adventure, you're going to want to explore every nook and cranny of the maps you find yourself on. There are secrets scattered throughout each realm, but that isn't the only reason we've included this tip. The main objective can also be hidden in some less obvious locations, places that might just feel like an optional side dungeon. An item on one side of the map might be the key to the puzzle on the other side. Something that can be very obvious, however, are the crates. When close by, these will show up on your map as yellowish markers. Don't expect to get major weapons or armor from them though. On the surface, Remnant 2 might seem like your typical looter shooter, in which rare guns tend to pop out of bosses that you defeat. However, that's not the case. Most rewards tend to be trait points, stat boosting items, or resources. So if you're dreaming of wielding a cooler weapon, you'll have to fork over some hard-earned coin for it, or craft it using those resources you've been collecting. You can buy guns from Brabus, who is over by the shooting range, and armor from Whispers, who is closer to the entrance of the camp. Just be careful not to go overboard with the heavy pieces of armor. We'll cover that in the next tip. Make sure to check back with Ava after you beat each boss, because your character will usually mumble something about Ava and crafting.
The cave is pretty handy. Maybe she can make something with this.
Chances are you've earned some resources that can be used to craft unique items, such as the unlimited ammo cube handgun, that can pop a shield and even fire that shield off into enemies. In the Forbidden Grove, you can find a Blood Moon altar to craft a special knotted armor set or the cool looking Blade of Gull. Build crafting becomes very important. For example, modding an auto shotgun to slow enemies and fire electric bursts make it insanely more powerful. Stack that with other items that can reduce first shot spread and recoil, or pair an LMG with an item that increases damage as it overheats. If you've ever played a Souls or Souls-like game, you might be familiar with the concept of armor weight literally weighing your character down. Depending on your intended playstyle, you're going to want to pay close attention to the weight of the armor you choose. It's a give and take type of situation. Heavier pieces take a toll on your dodging, but they also reduce the amount of damage taken in combat. During my initial playthrough, I was getting my ass handed to me by a major boss. The speed at which it swung its sword in comparison to how fast I was able to dodge felt cheap. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't on the brink of rage quitting. That all changed after I decided to take off my character's heavy pants and boots. Barefoot in a pair of boxers, I was finally fast enough to take down the boss during my next attempt. In conclusion, if you're in trouble, take your pants off. Here's a bit more info on weight. Light is shown with blue numbers that range from weight 1 through 25. This level is a fast dodge with no stamina cost penalty. Medium is green and falls between the weight 26 through 50. This range is considered a normal dodge with a 25% stamina cost penalty. Heavy is shown with yellow numbers that consist of any weight above 51. This is a slow dodge with a 50% stamina cost penalty. And this next batch of tips needs much less explaining, so let's try to lightning round them. Trait points can be reset in Ward 13 by speaking to Wallace. However, you'll need to have enough materials to craft the Orb of Undoing before you can do so. You can switch shoulders in Remnant II, so remember to do that when you need to as you're aiming down sights. I'm constantly overlooking this feature in games, so I've included it here just in case we're gaming twins and you need the reminder as well. This should help you peek around some corners and limit how many enemies can engage with you at once. Remnant 2 isn't a stealth game, but sometimes you can cheese it a little and crouch past certain enemies, especially the sleepy ones. So pretend you're a pacifist and give it a shot, but keep in mind, the handler's dog might make this a little harder to do. Games like Elden Ring, Jedi Survivor, and even Diablo 4 have ruined me recently, because unlike those titles, you don't need to interact with the checkpoints in Remnant 2 in order to activate them. I wasted a decent amount of seconds sitting through the slow animation and then backing out of menus, so don't be like me. Just walk up to or past the checkpoint, and only touch it if you need to travel or regain some health. In some zones, you'll be poisoned by enemies and need to find or buy a cream or some type of medicine to cure yourself. For example, Antidote removes Corroded effect, Ethereal Orb can remove Overloaded effect, and Mud Rub can remove Burning effect. These can be bought from Dr. Nora at Ward 13. You can also find rings in some zones that make you immune to some poisons. When playing co-op, ammo on the ground only goes to the player that picks it up. So communicate, take care of your team if they need ammo, and don't be greedy. In a world of games that require a constant connection, Remnant 2 allows you to explore its realms offline. Seriously, the internet cut out during the review period and still worked. Steam Deck performance is a bit all over the place. I was able to get the game to run at around 60 frames per second by making it pretty damn ugly. Here are my settings. But the weird thing about my settings is that I get it to run at 60 frames per second by switching it to 30 frames. But when I switch it to 60, it limits it to around 30? Huh? Either way, the game plays better now on Steam Deck than it did before the early access period. So it seems like the devs are on it, and it's only going to get better on Steam Deck after the full launch. Being a third-person Souls-like shooter, this game can get pretty damn hard, even on the lowest difficulty. Sometimes you'll even run into random things that kill you, like getting sucked into a sewer grate. Be patient, have fun, and try not to break any controllers. One tactic that works well with bosses is to just slow down and observe the different phases. Some phases are less dangerous than they appear or can be exploited, such as merely kneecapping enemies instead of killing them while you're at a boss that revives the dead enemies. They aren't dead, so they never get revived. Big brain moves. And those are all the things we wish we knew about Remnant 2 before diving in. Leave some of your own tips in the comments below and make sure to stick with GameSpot for more on Remnant 2.